Transportation is, in many ways, that prism that takes all of the issues that we face in this city and gives us the chance to move them all. When people have less time that they have to spend on a commute, they can have more time at home helping a kid with homework, and our education rates and graduation rates can go up. When we have a better transportation system, we can see the air quality improve and people live longer lives. When we invest in transportation, we can see jobs and main streets come back, which revitalizes the economy and reduces poverty. And when we build housing along transportation lines, we can mitigate the worst housing crisis that we've ever faced in Los Angeles since World War II.
We stand at a very interesting crossroads in Los Angeles between a sort of old LA and a new LA.
There's a lot of pride in being an Angelino and a lot of pride in making the city the very best it could be, cutting edge. And so let's just think big, let's go for it, and let's really envision over the next several years, what do we want to invest in this city? What do we want it to look like? And let's go for it.
You cannot go to Washington with an empty hat in hand. You will get $0 back. But if you come with a half-filled hat, they get excited about topping it off. That's the new federal-local partnership.
We can continue to change the climate in Los Angeles, and we can make this a more navigable, more livable, happier place for all of us to live, work, and play.
But mobility shouldn't just be measured in inches and miles. It should also be mentioned in people's ability to move up the economic rung. So when we're talking about what the future is going to look like, we've got to make sure the voices of the people are here.
This is not just about building public transit. It is not just about cleaning the air. It is not just about good-paying jobs. It is not just about generating an economic stimulus for the county. It's about reimagining ourselves and how we want to live.
It's actually about building healthy transportation systems and networks that are around transit, enhanced bus ridership, and now we see the addition of active transportation projects.
When you're connecting your communities, it is not enough to connect like this. We must learn to connect like this. Multi-modes, multi-options, multi-destinations, true integration.
This is all about creating a livable community in Los Angeles, and I think it's the single most important investment we can make.
And you know what a half-a-cent sales tax costs us on average? About 8 cents a day.
It's going to create construction jobs, it's going to create manufacturing jobs, it's going to create architecture and engineering and more operations jobs. It's really going to be the job generator of a lifetime.
What Measure R did was it got LA and Metro in particular invited to the dance in Washington, D.C. Prior to Measure R, we had 2 projects planned for the next 2 decades.
We're in with both feet. This is the most important thing we can do in Los Angeles to improve our quality of life and to improve the environment.
And if we don't reduce those NOx emissions in this region by 2/3 by 2023 and 3/4 by 2032 and likely by 85 or 90% by 2037, we're going to face some very serious consequences.
When we talk about greenhouse gas emission reductions, we aren't just talking about greenhouse gas emissions to affect climate change. We are also talking about impacting the local community where we are reducing pollution for the people who live around there.
What would we want to see happen in our communities to be able to demonstrate the benefit of public transit?
I think it was very clear that the residents of LA County are willing to make a serious investment, a serious commitment when they know what those dollars are being used for.
Community members know their neighborhoods better than any of us, the city, the county, any of us.
When we begin to think that we are all in this together, it makes a huge difference.
There's a growing number, and we've been working for a while now, growing number of educated voters in low-income communities of color, especially South LA.
We're putting together a strategy, and the strategy always involves constituencies. And constituencies are always aspirational. They want it all.
Pretty much 1 in 5 has some kind of disability. And if we all live long enough, which we're doing now as an aging community, you'll be lucky to get a disability because it means you've lived long enough to acquire one and to earn one. So as you age, I welcome you into my community that I've been a part of since I was 3.
Let's not wait until the baby boomers are all in their 80s and 90s and say, oh my goodness, we have an unmet need here. what are we going to do about it? No, let's do it now. Let's get started. Let's plan for everyone's future.
I'm so excited that all 88 cities are highly engaged. The Regional Council of Governments are the first step, and they've rolled up important projects. We need to get involved. You should show up and see what your government, your local government is saying is important. Come to the Metro board meetings and get involved.
We are hosting quarterly conversations in the community, so you can always come and make sure you make public comment. Move LA also has a Twitter account where you can tweet your thoughts and your ideas, and join the conference that Move LA hosts annually. It's really a large conversation about transportation, best practices, and good ideas, and it's a great way to network with those who are working on these topics to better understand where the issues are at the moment.
We are no longer just Business, Labor, Environmental Coalition. We are also a coalition of the people with disabilities, of students, the faith community, of the community for social justice, affordable housing advocates. We are a growing coalition. We have more capability than we had in 2007.